Did you have a relationship with Amy Lee before that you guys always said you wanted to sometime collaborate?
She's one of my favorite singers of all time. She's the most incredible voice. I never thought we'd ever collaborate. What happened was...
Hey, thanks for being here. My name's Jason Bailey. And if you know anything about my past, one of my favorite artists, just because of some of the mistakes that I've made in conversations with this gentleman, have come back to haunt me. But Gavin Rossdale Bush is just an absolutely fantastic artist, human being. The band has lived through the test of time and getting ready to go back out on the road this summer with Breaking Benjamin. Plus, All Things Must Change, the new song coming out on the deluxe edition of the album, The Art of Survival, which is being re-released. And it has 2 live versions of More Than Machines, Heavy as the Ocean. And then there's a new mix of 1,000 Years with Amy Lee of Evanescence.
I mean, that's a new thing. That's wild.
Gavin, that's a lot going on right there. That's a mouthful just to start off this conversation.
Amy Lee is so great and took us so far uptown. You know what I mean? We were down in the Bowery before she joined the song, and incredible. So I'm so excited for people to hear that song. It's just haunting because, you know, I just wrote it, but she elevated it somewhere insane. She's incredible. I love her so much.
Did you have a relationship with her before?
I'm not crying, but I could.
Don't cry. Did you have a relationship with Amy Lee before that you guys always said you wanted to sometime collaborate?
I toured Southeast Asia with her a few years back, and we had a great time. She's one of my favorite singers of all time. She's the most incredible voice. I never thought we'd ever collaborate. What happened was we played the Ryman Theatre, which is a famous old church in Nashville that it's like this crazy venue. Everyone freaks out about the venue. I didn't know that much about it. I'm not from Nashville. So I went to this beautiful auditorium, and she lives there. So I wrote and asked her to come to the show. And I just said, you want to come and sing a song with me? Can I send you a song I was thinking that'd be great if you sang on, you know? And she wrote back right away. She said, I'm flying in that day, so I don't know if a song's possible, but I'm definitely going to come to the show. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I sort of regretted. I was thinking I shouldn't have maybe confronted her, and been like, but gone through management, because nobody likes to say no. No one wants to say no directly. Right. So I didn't hear back from her once I sent the song. And so about 10 days later, a couple of days before the show, I was about to write her and be like, hey, listen, I apologize for kind of cornering you in that way. Don't worry about the song, but I want to see you come to the show. We're buddies, and me and all of our band. And she sent me the song back with her vocal on it, and it was like I did cry. I did. It was so beautiful, and I was really proud of that song, and it meant a lot to me already. But then with Amy on there, it's another, I don't know, it's just too good. And I can brag about it because I'm just bragging about her. You know what I mean? Well,
anything Amy Lee sings is angelic. You could put a nursery rhyme in front of that woman. And I remember when they first, launched, and they were, I just looked at it, I go, oh my God, I can't believe it's so good. Do you ever think about those classic Bush songs and going, God, what if I had an Amy Lee or a Lizzie Hale or some of the current female artists from today on them?
Well, I've just begun thinking like that.
Yeah. You didn't think like that before, huh?
Well, yeah, I did, but it's a funny thing. I love it. We did a record, Black and White Rainbows, and I had a girl who was Greta, who was unknown, but she sang it's almost like a semi-duets record. I just liked the sound of the female voice in there. So I would love that. Lizzie Hale was also another heroine of mine. She's incredible.
When you run into these more current artists, like newer artists, I should say, do they come to you and ask for advice? Say, hey, kid, going through a tough time. Just tell me how to get through this right now.
Like one major piece of advice I often give to people, not just singers, but is they should never write angry emails or angry texts. Nothing angry. If you have anger and you have issues, it should be short and clear, but you do it on the phone, because the thing is that the issue passes, but the email remains.
Right. Yeah.
So people can, you know, suddenly read that again, and like a couple of weeks later, a month, like 2 months later, and you start looking like you lost your, you know what I mean? You lost who you were. And so, oh, the great trick I've done for years is you write the email, but I immediately take their name off the top. I put my own name.
Yeah.
And let it rip. I let it rip. Tell them what I think of them. Really tell them what I think of them. I got a vicious way with words. So, you know what I mean? I can really let go. And then I get it. And I'm like, okay, I feel better. You just you gotta get it out. Like songs, but sometimes I do that. I write to myself what I would ideally like to write. And then I write a really short version that you can't tell the tone. I'm just like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. Or something like that, you know, not like, well, I don't want to swear on Audacy, but you know what I mean? Not the kind of, you know, Conor McGregor with a broken leg shouting from the ringside. Your wife got the dams.
Yeah, I've told you this before, but you know, my daughter, you know, it's trendy to wear the rock shirts of the Nirvanas and the Bowies and the Hendrixes and Zeppelins and stuff like that.
And Bush.
Bush. But I say those bands because Bush isn't available at JCPenney. She has to actually wear my Bush concert t-shirt with your face on it, mind you. So I have a rule. She has to know 5 things about the band she's wearing on her shirt.
My kid was wearing a Wu-Tang Clan hoodie that I got him. You know, he's wearing the Wu-Tang Clan, and as he put it on, he came in for breakfast and said, name 3 songs.
Did he? Was he able to?
Of course he's not. He didn't, you know, Wu-Tang Clan. He's 9. But my 14-year-old, his favorite act, you know, one of his favorite acts?
Huh.
Ice Cube.
Yeah, sure.
Go figure. I mean, something wrong with Ice Cube. I would go to a lot of bands where I get to Ice Cube. And he just plays his records all the time. And I love that. I mean, Ice Cube's amazing.
Have they started asking for the hookups yet? You know, you probably know that Billy Corgan guy, right? You probably
we've got a Jackson guitar. He just got a Jackson guitar that very kindly gave it to me, and I wanted to try it, but he wanted to try it. So they get hookups like that. But that's cool. I mean, what's nice is like my old son is a really good guitar player. He's really good. He's way better at his age than I was. I mean, it's like shocking. And he's writing and singing, and he's incredible.
Well, All Things Must Change, the new single, Art of Survival, the deluxe edition, out in June.
Amy Lee, 1,000 Years.
Amy Lee, new mix of 1,000 Years. Pushofficial.com for all tour information, everything Bush. Gavin, it's always so awesome to talk to you. Thank you so much for all this time and doing the check-in. Best of luck. I'll see you on tour with Breaking Benjamin, and best of luck with this and the Amy Lee 1,000 Years song. All right.
Amy Lee. She's the best.
All praise Amy Lee. All praise Amy Lee.
He deserves it all.
All right. Take care, Gavin. Thank you so much.
Brother.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.